This is part 2 of a bikepacking journey through the heart of the American West on the Western Wildlands Route. Part 1 introduced the route and covered the journey through Montana and Idaho with a short prologue on the Trans-Canada Trail in British Columbia. Part 2 continues the adventure through Utah and Arizona to the Mexico border. The Western Wildlands Route combines dirt, gravel, and some paved roads, along with barely rideable trails, to navigate 2,700 miles through the vast expanses of the Intermountain American West. Approximately 70% of the route passes through federal lands, including 18 national forests, 6 national parks and monuments, and 4 Bureau of Land Management National Conservation Lands areas. The route is divided into 9 segments. This video features segments 5 through 9. Segments 5 and 6 pass through Utah, showcasing the high plateaus and canyon country. In segment 6, I diverged from the route near Farron to ride the Bears Ears Loop, rejoining the Western Wildlands Route near Loa. Segments 7 through 9 navigate through Arizona, highlighting diverse landscapes ranging from ponderosa pine forests to sage and grasslands, extending from the Grand Canyon to the Sonoran Desert and all the way to the border with Mexico. Segment 5 in northern Utah represents a major transition along the Western Wildlands Route. To the north lie the rugged mountains and low plains of Idaho. To the east stretch the high plains of Wyoming, and to the south tower the Uinta Mountains and the high elevation plateaus of the larger Colorado Plateau. Segment 5 enters Utah on a beautiful bike path that ends at Lake Town on the southern shore of Bear Lake. The route then climbs steeply on pavement to a sage-covered crest and turns onto the dirt Otter Creek Road, which descends to the Bear River Valley. From there, the route ascends a rough gravel road to Crawford Mountain, passing through many historical mining prospects, and then returns to the Bear River at the village of Woodruff. The southbound route continues generally following the Bear River toward the larger town of Evanston, Wyoming. From Evanston, I chose to continue south on the Mirror Lake Alternate, which climbs over the stunningly beautiful Uinta Mountains through mostly public lands, passing countless lakes, campgrounds, and hiking trails. This alternate reaches an elevation of 10,364 feet at Hayden Pass, where freezing temperatures threaten to turn the rain into snow. A short, steep descent returns to the main route, which climbs again on steep and rough dirt and gravel roads through Soapstone Basin and up to 10,000 feet before descending to follow the western shore of Strawberry Reservoir. The segment ends at Soldier Summit, a famous pass in the Wasatch Mountains, and now the location of a solitary gas station, a highway, and a railroad. Segment 6 traverses the western margin of the Colorado Plateau through Utah's Wasatch Mountains, where the climbs and descents are long, and the views from higher elevations are expansive. From Soldier Summit, the route leads to the northern end of Skyline Drive. This aptly named, rugged 100-mile-long Jeep trail traverses the length of the Wasatch Plateau, featuring 6,000 feet of climbing along a steep rolling ridge crest, near the tree line flanked by precipitous slopes to the east and west. Near the summit, called High Top, at an elevation of 10,918 feet, I diverged from the main route and rode east on the Bears Ears Loop. This loop includes the San Rafael Swell Canyonlands National Park, the Abajo Mountains, Bears Ears National Monument, Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, and Capitol Reef National Park. The loop descends 6,000 feet, passing through the towns of Farron and Castle Dale, then traverses the San Rafael Swell, and follows a short section of the very sandy Old Spanish Trail to Green River, known historically as the longest, most arduous, and crookedest pack mule route in America. From Green River, the route heads south across the desert to Arches National Park in the town of Moab, where I needed to get a new rear tire and brakes for the bike. The route then follows the Colorado River, ascends Hurrah Pass, and climbs a jeep trail to Lockhart Basin, adjacent to Canyonlands National Park. These 70 waterless miles end at a crossing of Indian Creek. The route then follows Indian Creek upstream past Newspaper Rock, followed by an arduous climb into the aspen and spruce forests of the Navajo Mountains, also known as the Blue Mountains. From the top of that climb, I descended to Monticello and took a rest day. From Monticello, I opted for an alternate route back into the Navajo Mountains, where the aspens were starting to turn a golden yellow, to rejoin the main Bears Ears Loop. The route then skirts the western flank of the Navajo Mountains, passing through Bears Ears National Monument, and gradually descends the scenic Elk Ridge along red rock mesas and deep canyons to the Colorado River at height in Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. This area was once the northernmost extent of Lake Powell, but the water has been drawn down, exposing sediment terraces deposited along both sides of the Colorado River when the water level was higher. Heavy rains were forecasted for the route through the Henry Mountains, where the dirt roads would become impassable, so I detoured along pavement through Hanksville. I then proceeded west through Capitol Reef National Park to the town of Torrey, ascending 6,000 feet to rejoin the main Western Wildlands Route atop Aquarius Plateau near Loa. From the plateau summit at Griffin Top, the route descended into Bryce Canyon National Park and its famous amphitheaters and towers. The segment then gradually climbs to the southern end of the Paunsaugunt Plateau before dropping into the sprawling Deer Springs Ranch and then continuing through Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument. The southernmost 40 miles are the fastest of the segment on smooth dirt roads and pavement leading to the touristy town of Kanab. Segment 7 traverses northern Arizona through a landscape of colorful sedimentary rocks, tall cliffs, deep canyons, and high-elevation grasslands, punctuated by crossing over 100 dry miles of stunning Navajo Nation land in Marble Canyon and Little Colorado River Gorge tribal parks. From Kanab, the route initially crosses a broad, treeless valley before climbing over the northern end of the Kaibab Plateau through juniper woodlands. I chose to take the Kaibab Plateau alternate route that dips farther south over the highest part of the Kaibab Plateau and through cool forests and meadows. This part of the route was closed earlier in the summer when the Dragon Bravo fire, fueled by hot, dry, and windy conditions, burned over 5,000 acres. A windstorm during my transit of the plateau caused standing dead trees to crack and fall to the ground, blocking the road and making backcountry camping dangerous. So I returned to the main route via Jacob Lake.
Back en route, head southeast, then, after 20.8 miles, turn left.
East of the Kaibab Plateau, the route through House Rock Valley leads to a paved road that runs beneath the Vermilion Cliffs to the crossing of the Colorado River. South of the river, the route climbs out of the gorge on pavement and onto Navajo Nation lands. At the small community of Bitter Springs, the route turns west onto rough jeep trails and dirt roads through grasslands, where I spotted several herds of wild horses. This section of the route required a Navajo Nation backcountry permit. Water is absent, shade is scarce, and camping is permitted only in a few specific locations. But the Badlands and canyon rims are spectacular. The roads through the Navajo Nation lands are rough and severely washboarded, and the only respite was riding on pavement. But the highway leading to the community of Cameron was very busy with traffic and mostly has no shoulder. The tourist hub of Cameron is located at the Little Colorado River crossing and is the last place to resupply before climbing the massive plateau leading toward Grand Canyon National Park. The south rim of the canyon was very congested, so I continued on to Russell Tank, the first water source on the route south of the park. Segment 8 of the route traverses some of Arizona's most stunning landscapes: grasslands, majestic peaks, vast pine forests, and expansive views of seemingly endless mountain ranges. This segment also passes through Flagstaff and Sedona before ending among the iconic saguaro cacti of the Sonoran Desert. Heading south from the Grand Canyon rim, the route gradually descends, following relatively smooth gravel roads and rugged jeep trails. It crosses the Babbitt Ranch, passes a wind farm, scratches across a lava field, and then climbs toward the San Francisco peaks. Thunderstorms in the mountains prompted me to take a detour to avoid the higher elevations before descending to the city of Flagstaff. There, I visited a bike shop for some maintenance. The remnants of 3 tropical depressions converged over Flagstaff, unleashing a torrent of rain. South of Flagstaff, the route followed abandoned railroad grades and jeep trails that had turned into stream beds, as well as flooded gravel roads through pine forests. This led to a long descent through the red and yellow cliffs of the Mogollon Rim into the very touristy towns of Sedona and Oak Creek Village. I took a rest day there to avoid more rain. South of Oak Creek, the route climbs 4,000 feet and returns to the Ponderosa pine forests. An incredibly rocky jeep trail is followed by a reprieve on pavement at Clint's Well. The path then shifts back to gravel roads that ascend to the top of the Mogollon Rim Cliffs, followed by 40 miles of rugged riding on the Gravel Rim Road. The route then cuts directly south to the isolated community of Young, following a quiet, rolling dirt road through the Sierra Ancha Mountains. The route then drops precipitously into the Salt River Valley and the Sonoran Desert. The final miles of the segment are mostly on paved roads leading into the copper mining town of Globe, which was recently devastated by severe floods. Segment 9 is the southernmost part of the Western Wildlands Route. It climbs over two of southern Arizona's Sky Islands, the high isolated mountain ranges that tower above the surrounding Sonoran Desert. The high elevations above 5,000 feet provide a cool, forested reprieve from the warm desert temperatures often experienced between 2,000 and 4,000 feet in elevation. The route also follows much of the San Pedro River Valley to the southern terminus at the Mexico border. Southbound leaving Globe, a steep climb leads to near the top of the Pinal Mountains before descending to the Gila and San Pedro rivers and the copper mining town of Winkleman. Then the route climbs again to reach moderate elevation dirt roads that lead to the mountain town of Oracle. South of Oracle is the control road that ascends 5,000 feet of steep, chunky jeep trail to the top of Mount Lemmon, one of the most magnificent sky islands that looms over the city of Tucson. A long paved descent reaches the outskirts of Tucson, followed by a steep but much shorter climb to the east over Reddington Pass that takes the route back to the San Pedro Valley and the remote community of Cascabel. southernmost 115 miles of the route continues following the San Pedro Valley upstream to the Mexico border, first on dirt and gravel roads to Benson, and then on a mix of two-track Jeep trails, old railroad grades with multiple locked gates, and short sections of pavement past abandoned ranches, ghost towns, and finally to the touristy town of Tombstone. The last miles of the route are on the San Pedro Trail that leads through the San Pedro Riparian National Conservation Area, passing through wetlands and cottonwood trees while following an intermittently flowing San Pedro River. The trail is severely overgrown in places, and recent flooding created large muddy puddles that needed to be traversed out and back to reach and return from the Mexico border wall. A trip of this magnitude can be overwhelming, and I found it best to focus on the challenges of each day, one at a time, rather than think about the entire journey. As a result, the end of the trip felt like just the end of another day. I decided to ride the 115 miles back to Tucson instead of taking a shuttle. This choice allowed me to reflect on and process all the events of the past 3 months. One lesson I learned is that it pays to live in the moment. A number of philosophers believe that the only thing that exists is immediate experience, and everything else lives in our head as either a memory of the past or an expectation of the future. So every moment deserves the full attention of all our senses. Despite riding solo, nobody completes such a journey alone. Dozens of people supported me along the way, whether through acts of kindness like offering water, or stopping to ask how I was doing, or simply being curious about my trip and engaging in a conversation. The overwhelming kindness of strangers continues to surprise. Humanity is much kinder, and the world is generally a much nicer place than it often seems. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel or check back for more videos coming soon.